So again, I welcome you all in today's lecture. So very good afternoon to my dear students, and we are on to the industrial pharmacy part 1. So dear student, yesterday we had gone through the process of tablet compression and consolidation. Now what that compression and consolidation means? Yes, compression is what? Compression, that is nothing but the process of reduction into the volume. And consolidation is what? Consolidation, it is a sequence of steps that are occurring during the process of compaction, during the process of compression. Now it involves what? It involves the process of uh, formation, that is the reversible and irreversible deformations. The reversible deformation, that is said to be the elastic deformation, and the irreversible deformation is said to be the plastic deformation. So the particles, they will subject to that of the plastic and elastic deformations. Further, they will get subjected to the process of fragmentation, and once the fragmentation that will occur, there is no reversible change. There is a formation of the bond between the particles, which will lead to the process of compaction. So that will give rise to a particular shape that is said to be the tablet shape, right? Now, after going through this process of compression and consolidation, we had gone through the different kinds of tablet defects, in which we saw there is a capping, there is a lamination, there is a picking, there is a cracking, there is a mottling, and there is a double impression. Now, as far as all these defects are concerned, these are due to certain properties. That might be because of the entrapment of the air, that might be because of the speed of compression, that might be because of the incorrect humidity, that might be because of the high compact. So there are a number of reasons. So that will lead to these different tablet defects in case of tablets. Then we saw the details of how these capping, lamination, picking, cracking, mottling, and double impression that will occur. What are the causes to that one? And after knowing the causes, how we can go on resolving, how we can go on getting solution to these defects in the form of the remedies. So once the cause is known, once the reason is known, we can very easily go for finding the remedies. So if moisture is the reason, then improvement of the drying, that is the remedy. If larger speed, that is the reason, then we can go on reducing the speed, that is the remedy for that. If overdrying is the reason, then we can go for having the remedy of, say, maintaining some kind of moisture during the process of compression of the granules. If entrapped air is the reason, then we can go for removal of the air and complete filling of the dye cavities. So all these are the details that already we had studied as far as the tablet defects are concerned. Now today we have to see the process which are said to be the layering of the tablet, that is properly called as coating. Now today what we have to study some of the basics of tablet coating. What are the different methods that are used in order to coat the tablet? What are the different coating procedures? Then the different equipment and what defects we will going to find in the coatings of the tablets. Now, in order to understand all these steps, in order to understand all these processes, we have to go through our lesson plan like this. Say, what are the different tablet coatings? What are their types? Which types of coating materials we are going to be using? how we are formulating the coating solution, what is its composition, what are the different methods of coating, which equipments are employed, which equipments are used for the process of coating, and last but not the least, the different kinds of defects that are occurring in case of the coatings are concerned, their definitions, their causes, and their remedies. As we saw, there are defects in case of tablet. In the same way, there are also defects in case of the coatings of the tablets. Now, if we see the tablets, there are two different types of tablets which are said to be the coated tablet and the uncoated tablet. Now, what is the reason for which we need to go for coating of the tablet? Why we have to coat the tablet? Now, in order to summarize these processes, the coating that can be summarized, that can be memorized in the form of this abbreviation PMMAIS. What it is? PM mass or PMMAIS. Now, what is the meaning of this PMMAIS? This is the protection, this is the masking, this is the modifying, this is the alteration, this is the identification, and this is the strength. So in this way we can go for memorizing, we can go for remembering the reasons, the purposes, the causes, because for which we are going for the process of coating of the tablet. So what it is the PMMAIS. So the first P is the protection, protection of tablet, protection of tablet, protection of the drug from the environment. Which environment? That might be air, that might be light, and it might be moisture. That is to protect the tablet from air, moisture, and light, right, in order to improve its stability, because the tablet that will undergo the process of changes in color when it will subjected to that of the light, the tablet that will undergo the process of absorbing the moisture, if it will come in contact with that of the humidity, the tablet that will affect, it will loses its stability when it will kept open as such. So in order to protect the drug, in order to protect the tablet, we have to go for the process of protecting the tablet by offering the coatings. The second is the PMMAIS. The second M that will stand for the modifying. M is the modifying, modification. Modification of what? Modification of the drug release pattern. Right. So we can obtain the enteric coating, we can obtain the extended release formulations. Right, here you can see there is a sustained release type of formulation, there is a zero order controlled release type of formulation, there is a immediate release single dose formulation, and there is controlled one. And this is the conventional dosing pattern in which frequently we have to go on giving the dosages. So we can go for modifying the release of the drug by coating the tablet. Next, the third M that will stands for the masking. Masking the unpleasant taste and pleasant odor of the drug and batch differences in the appearance of the raw material. Generally, from batch to batch, the type of raw material which is going to be used, that might have changed into its color. Normally, this should not happen because there should be a regular supply of the raw material with the required specification in terms of colors also. But sometimes because of the environmental changes, because of the climatic differences, if it may not occur, the same kind of raw material might have some different color. So in such a case, in order to maintain the uniformity of the tablet, that if the tablet is white, that means throughout the world, throughout the year, throughout the process of manufacturing, the tablet should appear as a white. It should not be in such a way that in the month of June it should be white, or in the month of January it should be off-white. It is not like that. We want the same kind of consistency as far as the color of tablets are concerned. And in order to maintain that, we are going for masking the color, masking the batch differences, masking the test, and masking the order of the drug. The next is the appearance. A, this will stands for the appearance. Improving the product appearance by offering color. We are making the product, we are making the tablet good in their look is concerned. The next purpose is the eye. This eye means the identification. The coating of the tablet that also helps for the process of identification, right? The kind of color which is to be given to the tablet. Let's say, for example, the diaclovin plus, it is white in color. You will be knowing the Gelusil. What is the color of the Gelusil? Yes, it is an interactive session in order to identify which kind of tablet it is. Yes, what is the general color of the Gelusil tablet? It is the pink in color. So just by looking toward the tablet, if the size of tablet is larger one and if it is pink in color, just we can draw a conclusion, we can identify that this is the Gelusil kind of tablet. So that means the coating process that is facilitating the rapid identification by the manufacturer, by the pharmacist, and by the patient also. So that's why most of the tablets, these are colored by offering color into their coatings. Last but not the least, to give the strength, right? So increasing the mechanical strength of the product. In order to improve the strength, the tablet, these are going to be coated ones. So all these are the reasons for which we are going for coating of the tablet. What these are? These are PMMAIS. What is P? Protection. What is M? That is the modification. What is another M? That is the masking. What is A? That is the appearance. What is I? That is the identification. What is S? It is the strength. Okay, now come to the coatings. What are the different types of coatings that we can give to the tablets? We can give the three different types of coatings to the tablet. First is said to be the sugar coating, second is said to be the film coating, and the third one is said to be the compression coating. Although the third one, that is very uncommon, but the first and second, that are very common, that is the sugar coating and the film coating. Sugar coating, particularly we are giving the thick layers of the sugar, like say the sucrose, surrounding to that of the tablet, as a result of which the tablet may have the wet gain. As far as the film coating is concerned, there is a thin film that is given over onto that of the tablet, and in case of film coating there is no wet gain. The wet gain, that is in case of the sugar coating, whereas in case of compression coating, again there is a wet gain, because through the process of compression we are giving the coating. So compression coating, that is nothing but a tablet within a tablet, we can just understand, right? So this is the sugar coating. You can see there is a core that is nothing but the tablet which is going to be produced through the process of compression. And this tablet is going to be coated by giving the subsequent layerings of the sucrose, that is the sugar coating. You can see these tablet, these are appearing shiny and bright in color. So what the sugar coating is, it involves the successive application of sucrose based coating solution to the tablet cores, water that will evaporate from the syrup, leaving a thick sugar layer around the each tablet. You can see there is a tablet and there is a thick layer surrounding to this by evaporating the water from this. The sugar coated tablet, these are shiny and highly colored one, as the color that is going to be incorporated into the coating solution. So the tablet, they will appear colored one and they will appear shiny because of the process of the polishing. Now this is the overall process, that how the process of coating that will happen. There is a particular equipment which is said to be the coating pan, in which there is a inlet of air from one side, there is a outlet of air from another side, there is an assembly for spraying the coating solution. This is the tablet bed, or onto that of the tablet bed the coating solution that is going to be sprayed, and this pan is continuously rotated. This is the perforated pan. You can see this is the perforated pan. Why it is? Because in order to remove the air which is blown onto this tablet bed in order to dry it. And this sprayed solution, it will contain some volatile substances, volatile solvents. In order to remove them, this exhaust system, this outlet airflow is required. The tablets are taken in a rotating coating pan for uniform application of coating solutions, which is gently poured or sprayed. The coating solution that is either sprayed or it is poured. Portion wise, slowly it is poured. It is not completely added at once, but partially it is added onto the tablets with warm air blown to hasten the drying. From here, the air is blown in order to dry these coatings, because the coating that will contain the aqueous solution or sometime solvents, volatile solvents. Sugar coating, the sugar coating, it will consist of several steps into its process. The second coat is given after drying the previous one. The sugar coating, it is not just a single coating process or the single step process. It is a multiple step process, and several number of layers are needed to be given or onto that of the tablets. So what are the different steps that are involved in sugar coating? It involving 5 to 6 different steps, and this can be summarized as sealing. Sealing is the first step. This is also called as waterproofing. Sealing or waterproofing of the tablet cores. Second is the subcoating, then smoothing, then coloring, then polishing and printing. So printing, that is the last stage where some identification marks, some names, some embossing, some printings, engravings that might be carried out in this particular stage with the help of use of edible link. Right. So the sealing or the waterproofing, what it involve? It will involve the application of one or more coat of the waterproofing substances. Why this is important? Waterproofing, because the drug that may come in contact with that of the coating solution and it may loses its properties. It may get hydrolyzed. So in order to avoid that, first the core need to be sealed properly. It will be made waterproofing in order to avoid that particular contact with the alcohol or with the aqueous solutions of the coating solution. So alcoholic spray, shellac, synthetic polymers like say the cellulose acetate phthalate. These are going to be used as a sealing material. Just in order to keep in your mind that the phthalate, these are not most of the time used because these are associated with the carcinogenic properties. So when we need to go for this, we should find some alternative. Instead of using the phthalates, we should go for use of some another kind of polymers in order to give coat, in order to make sealing or waterproofing of the tablets. This step involves application of many coats of partially or completely water insoluble polymers to execute the modified release pattern. We can improve the pattern of release of drug by giving the polymers in the form of the sealing. That is, the modified release pattern can be achieved, can be exhibited with the help of the sealing. The second stage that will consist of the subcoating. What is this subcoating? You can see the solution that is going to be sprayed onto that of the bed of the tablet in order to give layerings to that of the tablet, and this is the particular stage where there is a wet gain. Large quantities of sugar coatings are applied to the tablet core. 50 to 100% wet that will increases during this particular stage of subcoating. That is useful in order to round off the tablet, to get the edges rounded off, and the different kinds of coating agents which are used, that is the bulking agent, for example calcium carbonate to the sucrose solution, anti-adherent talc to prevent the sticking of the tablet together. So for the process of subcoating, we require the bulking agent, that is calcium carbonate, sucrose and anti-adherent, in order to avoid the process of adherence with each other, that is the talc needed to be added. So in this stage there is a weight gain, some 50 to 100% weight gain is observed in case of the subcoating. So what is the first stage? First stage is the sealing, second is the subcoating, third one is the smoothing. The surface may be rough after subcoating stage. So for coloring in next step, a smooth surface is needed. Subcoated tablets are smoothed out by a thick sucrose syrup coating. So that is the third step. What it is? It is the smoothing. First is the sealing, second subcoating, third is the smoothing. The fourth one is the coloring. This is the particular stage where the tablets, they will be colored in the form of the coating solution. So the thick sucrose syrup containing the coloring agent, the coloring agent might be water soluble dyes or sometimes that might be water insoluble pigment that are going to be used in order to give color to that of the tablets. So again it is going to be sprayed. There is an air inlet, you can see the flow of air, air is inlet, air that will carry out the process of drying of the tablet bed. All these are the tablet, black colored one, and from this side, from the exhaust, the suction shoe is there. This suction shoe, it will sucks the air and it will removes it. From one side there is an inlet, from another side there is an outlet. Spray gun, that is spraying the coating solution. This is the coating pan with perforated wall, and this is the mixing blade. There are some mixing blades. There are some like baffles. So these are important for the process of uniform mixing. You can say this is the polishing pan which is going to be used in case of industries for giving polishing to that of the tablet. You can see it will go on rotating and that will causes the polishing of the tablet by its rotation. So next stage is the printing. So we are on to the sixth stage. What is the first stage? Sealing, subcoating, then smoothing, then coloring. Yes, smoothing, coloring, and now it is the printing, polishing. So this is the particular assembly which is used in order to give polish to that of the tablets. The tablet that will be made bright, the tablet that will be made shiny through the stage of the polishing. Right. So generally the waxes are going to be used in order to give the polish to that of the tablets. The waxes like say the carnauba wax that is used in order to polish the tablet. So sealing, subcoating, then smoothing, then coloring, then polishing, and then there is a printing. So printing is the sixth and the last stage. So what are the different steps? Sealing, subcoating, smoothing, coloring, polishing, and printing. You can remember all those steps in case of coating of the tablets. So the printing that will involve the use of edible ink. So that edible ink is used because the tablet that can be ingested. So we need to go for use of the edible type of inks. Identification marks can be imprinted onto the tablets, the manufacturer's logo, sometimes product name, sometimes dosage strength, or sometimes other appropriate codes that are needed to be given in case of the printing stage. For sugar-coated tablet, the identification marks are given by printing process using the special edible inks. So that is what is the process of sugar coating. So coating, these are of three different types. Which are those? Sugar coating, film coating, compression coating. The sugar coating that will consist of the 6 different stages: sealing, subcoating, then smoothing, then coloring, then polishing, and then printing. Now come to the film coating. Film coating, it is just like spray painting as we used to do onto our walls. It involves the deposition usually by spraying method of a thin uniform film of a polymer formulation surrounding to that of the tablet. We are giving the layer, we are giving the coating of a polymeric agent over onto that of the tablet. Nowadays, all tablets which are coming into the market, these are film coated one. No one tablet will come into the market without giving the coating, unless and until if it do not require the sugar coating and the other kinds of coating. The film coating, that is the primary requirement for all types of coatings. Earlier, uncoated tablets used to come into the market, but in last few years, in say in decades, the each and every tablet which is produced, that is getting film coated. Now, what are the purposes? Again, the same. That is the test masking protection, as we saw general purposes for the coatings against the adverse climatic conditions without significantly altering the tablet weight or size. So film coatings, they are of two different types, solid coating and the liquid coating. The liquid coating, that will involve the use of solvents and the water. So based on that, there are two different types of liquid coatings. That is the solvent based coating and the water based coating. So film coating, again, they will fall into the two different types. That is the based on the kind of film that is given, that is offered. So there may be a immediate release, there may be a modified release. Immediate release, that is said to be the non-functional film coating. Modified release, that is said to be the functional film coating. Why the immediate release film coating is called as non-functional? Because it will not affect the biopharmaceutical properties of the tablet. What are the biopharmaceutical properties of the tablet? That is the disintegration, dissolution processes. So that will not get be affected because of the coating. So the tablet, after giving this immediate release film coating, it will radially goes into the solution. It will radially solubilize into the water. Whereas in case of modified release, it is said that functional because it will affect the functional properties. It will allow the drug to be delivered in a specific manner. It will affect the biopharmaceutical properties. It will affect the tablet disintegration, dissolution parameters. So thus it will affect the drug release behavior. We can improve the release of drug either in the form of controlled release, sustained release, or modified release one with the help of giving the modified release film coatings. Now, modified release film coatings, they are of two different types, which are said to be the delayed release coatings or the extended release coating. Extended release, that might be sustained, that might be controlled release. The delayed release coating, which is said to be the enteric coatings. This enteric coating that is useful, it will solubilize only at a pH greater than 5 to 6. That means at a alkaline pH, and this is suitable for the drugs which are acid labile, which are sensitive to the acids. So the drug that can be protected by giving the enteric coatings, and these are used for their delivery systematically into the colonic system, into the colons. So these are used for colonic drug delivery system, which enteric coatings. Extended release coating, these are mostly water insoluble one, and they deliver the drug over a long period of time. So we need to give or we need to reduce the dosing frequency, say from 4 times in a day or quarterly in a day, we can give 2 times in a day, BID fashion. So that will be useful in order to decrease the dosing regimen, and it is important for the process of improving the patient compliance as far as the extended release coatings are concerned. Now, as far as the film coating solution is concerned, in order to form this film coating solution, what we require the polymeric agent, we require the plasticizer, we require the solvents, and we require the colorants. All these four things are necessary in order to form the film coating solution. What these are? These are polymer, plasticizer, colorants, solvents. All these are required. So the first component is the polymer and second is the plasticizer. They are going to be incorporated for their specific functionings. What it is? A film polymer producing reproducible smooth thin films. In order to get a thin film, we need to add the polymers like the cellulose, vinyl derivatives, carbomers, and the methacrylate. And in order to maintain the flexibility and elasticity, there is a need to add the plasticizer. So the plasticizer, they will provide flexibility, elasticity to the coat and hence durability. For example, the polyethylene glycol, PEG, polypropylene glycol and coconut oil, all these are important, all these are introduced, all these are necessary in the coating solution. The polymer to give the thin film and the plasticizer in order to offer the flexibility and elasticity. The color in order to make the tablet look good, that is elegant, and solvent that might be aqueous, that might be organic volatile one. Provides the colorants, components of the film coating solution. The third component, which is said to be the colorants. The colorants, what they will do? Colorants, they will provide an elegant appearance. We can go for choosing a variety of types of colors based on our need. Iron oxide pigment, titanium dioxide, and aluminum legs. All these are the colors which are widely used in case of the film coating solutions as a coloring material. The solvents, these are nothing but the vehicles. These are going to be acting as a vehicle, some non-aqueous vehicles and some aqueous vehicles solvents. These are going to be incorporated into the coating solutions. Now this is the coating equipment which is used in the process. So this is the FBD type of coating solution, that is the fluidized bed coating equipment. So we know that FBD, that is going to be used for mixing, it is going to be used for granulation, it is going to be used for drying, it is also used for the process of coatings. So it is having the multiple functions. The conventional coating pan, as we saw, they are there. But along with conventional coating pan, as these are the perforated pan which will associated with the assemblies of air inlet, air outlet, spraying devices and all. In addition to that, there are some modified equipment which are said to be the fluid bed coating equipment. As you can see, this is the fluid bed coating equipment. So the basic procedure of spraying of the coating solution, that is involving in the form of solution or suspension onto the rotating tablet beds in the coating pan, or tablets are held in suspension by column of air. So in case of FBD, the tablets are held in the column of the air in the fluid bed coating equipment, followed by drying to remove the solvent and leaving a thin film around each tablet core. So that is the process by which it will going to be occurring in case of the tablet coating. So this is the coating pan system. A coating pan, as we told you that already, it will consist of a coating pan. This is the perforated coating pan. It will consist of a spraying system. It will consist of an air handling unit. It will consist of a dust collector, and it will consist of the different kinds of the controls. That is the coating pan system. So this is the coating pan system. You can see there are different controls. There is a coating pan. This is the assembly for blowing the air, and these are the automizing devices for spraying of the solutions at a predetermined rate over onto that of the tablet bed. You can see this is the device inside of this coating pan for the process of mixing. You can see how
Coating pan is basically a perforated drum that rotates within a cabinet. The controls involve airflow, air temperature, air pressure, and the coating solution application rate. It is controlled in this cabinet. A spraying system involves several spray guns and the coating process. In the coating process, the pump delivers the coating solution to the guns, where it combines with atomizing air to create a fine mist that is directed at the bed of tablets in the coating pan. The air handling unit.
So dear student, this is the process by which the coating that will occur.